Welcome back, everyone, for a new best to worst list. And this is going to be a special best to worst list. I am ranking, in my opinion, personally, best to worst movies of the Billion Dollar Movie Club, which total there is 46 movies now that have reached the Billion Dollar Club. So, with that said, keep in mind my own personal opinions. With that said, starting at number 46, Transformers Age of Extinction comes in dead last. Next, we have at 45, Transformers Dark of the Moon. You really shouldn't be surprised Transformers be at the dead bottom for me of the Billion Dollar Club. Can't stand them. Coming in at 44 is the live action, but let's call what it was, CG animated Lion King movie. Comes in at 44. I hated that movie. To me, it was boring. It was a pathetic attempt just to cash in. And the worst part is, it made $1.6 billion, which means it was very successful, even though I think quality wise, it doesn't come close to the 1990s original animated movie. Because no one can touch Jeremy Irons as Scar. But I'm not going to get into a rant on that. Next, coming in at 43 is, in my opinion, personally, my least favorite of the MCU movies. At 43 is Captain Marvel. Next, coming in at 42, I liked the first movie. I didn't care as much for this sequel. It's not bad, but it's not great compared to the original film. At 42 is Finding Dory, which is easily one of my least favorite Pixar films. Coming in at number 41, I'm not sure what most people's opinions, but this is mine. At 41 is Despicable Me 3. Now, personally, I never got super into the Despicable Me movies, I'll be honest. Though I will admit, I do have certain soft spot for the first Despicable Me movie. I'll admit that. I didn't like Despicable Me 2 nearly as much as most people, but 3 I felt was just not good. Coming in at 40, just one spot above, is Minions. Yes, I liked Minions more than Despicable Me 3, mainly because I found myself chuckling a couple of times, even though it's, for the most part, a pretty stupid movie, but to be fair, the film was made for kids, so I take that into account. Next, at 39, is The Fate of the Furious, which, of course, Fast and the Furious series. A series I never really cared much for, to be honest, but it's a few spots higher. At 38 is Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, which is my least favorite, definitely, of the Disney era Star Wars, and of live action films, is my least favorite Star Wars, but I disliked several movies more than The Last Jedi. Coming in at number 37 is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Comes in at 37. I think it's by far the weakest Pirates film, but still is better than some of them on this list, that's for sure, in my opinion. Coming up next at number 36 is Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I didn't genuinely enjoy it more than The Last Jedi, but that's not saying much. I feel like Last Jedi, that this film also very much had inconsistent, definitely pacing. I think the editing of the film was also somewhat choppy, more so in The Last Jedi, but still, I do have many issues with Rise of Skywalker. Next, coming in at 35, is the live action adaptation of Aladdin. To be fair, I'm surprised I genuinely like the remake of Aladdin more than the remake of Lion King. But I think the reason why Aladdin made it to 35, about more than 10 spots higher, mainly has to do with Will Smith as Genie. To me, he was the saving grace. I was not the biggest fan of the film. It definitely felt more like a Bollywood type movie than a Hollywood film, with some of the dance numbers, like the style they did with. And I hated the giant Iago and stuff rather than like Red Genie Jafar and stuff. Nostalgia factor does make me biased on this stuff, I'll be honest. Coming in at 34 is Furious 7, which I actually did like more than Fate of the Furious, but still not that great. At 33 is going to be a lot of people. Some people may agree with me, others may not. At number 33 for me is Titanic. I feel it's a very overrated film, and it did not deserve to ever be number one at the box office. I've seen the movie twice, and that's it. I saw it once in theater, and then once, I forget how many years ago. It's been well over a decade, but I will say, I never care much for Titanic like some people. It was a good, decent period piece, and I'll be honest, the one thing I took out of that film was I could tell Leonardo DiCaprio had a great career ahead of him. And to be fair, Titanic really helped bump his career. Coming in at 32 is Jurassic World, which in my opinion is the second best sequel to the original Jurassic Park. In my opinion, it's the second best of the sequels. But Jurassic World had some genuine fun and enjoyment in it. I'll be honest, I like Chris Pratt, so which is why it gets higher. Coming at number 31 is Toy Story 4. I know I probably don't like I'm sure there's a lot of people that prefer Toy Story 4 a lot more than me. I don't think it was a bad film, but it's by far the weakest of the Toy Story films, to be honest. It felt more like a side type film rather than actual Toy Story film, because it more or less revolved around more Woody and Bo Peep, to be fair. Coming in at 30, which is a lot higher than I'm sure some people would have had. At number 30 is the live-action Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. Comes in at 30. Still kind of mind-blowing to think that film made over $1 billion. But to be fair, there definitely is elements in the film I genuinely enjoyed. I actually really liked Johnny Depp's over-the-top performance as the Mad Hatter. I'll be honest, I actually liked it. And I liked also, I forget how correctly pronounce her name, Olive something Carter, but the point is ex-wife of Tim Burton as Queen of Hearts. I actually thought she did a good job. I'm not sure about the humongous CGI head, but you take it what you can. But yeah, I liked it more than some. At 29, I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but whatever. At 29 is Incredibles 2 of films in the $1 billion club, but I'll be honest, I do think in the Incredibles 1 is better than Incredibles 2, but everyone has their own taste, and it just wasn't as much my cup of tea. I will say is probably the best Fantastic Four movies, if you will. Coming at 28, live action adaptations from Disney. At 28 is Beauty and the Beast. I definitely genuinely enjoyed it a lot more than some of the other live action adaptations. And I think that partially has to do with Luke Evans as Gaston. I actually thought he did a great job as Gaston. Yeah, he wasn't big and muscular and stuff, but I enjoyed it, and I liked the beginning of the film showed a little more backstory into, of course, the prince becoming the beast. And I actually appreciate that, adding a little more backstory to it. There is things I have issues with, like Emma Watson, not the greatest voice, and it kind of took me out of the movie when she tried to sing because you could tell they used auto-tune on her voice because she's not exactly a professional singer, unlike the original Belle, which had a world-class singer. But take that what you will. At 27 is The Avengers. Yes, as I've said before, I don't like Avengers 1 as much as a lot of people. I still think it's great, obviously, because it's around the middle. At 26 is Toy Story 3, a few spots higher than Toy Story 4. I definitely feel of the $2 billion ones, it's by far the better one, in my opinion. And that's just how I am. At 25 is Zootopia. it ended up being a film I actually enjoyed a lot more than I had originally expected. And I'll admit, I've probably now seen Zootopia maybe 3 or 4 times. I really enjoy it, and I'll probably see it again thanks to Disney Plus. Coming in at 24 is Black Panther. So yeah, towards the center, I enjoy Black Panther, not as much as some people. For me though, the standout for the film was Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. That was my personal favorite part of Black Panther. At 23 is Spider-Man Far From Home. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have this film a lot higher on their list. Personally, of the newer ones, I thought Homecoming was a lot better, though I really did enjoy all the scenes and things with Mysterio. I thought they did a great job overall with him, but still, I think it's a little bit weaker. At 22 is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. By far, in my opinion, the best of all the sequels to the original Jurassic Park. Fallen Kingdom, I ended up, as time has gone on, I've appreciated, I think, a little bit more that they actually tried to do something different, changed up the formula, which I think was a definite positive. And yeah, frankly, I ended up enjoying it a little bit more than Jurassic World. Coming in at number 21, higher than some people, but at 21 is Iron Man 3, which I definitely enjoy more than a lot of people. Next, coming in at number 20 is Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. And it joined the Billion Dollar Club mainly thanks to the 3D re-release in theaters. But I like Phantom Menace a lot more than quite a few people. I can honestly say that one. Coming in at number 19 is Frozen 2. A great sequel, not as good as the original, but to be fair, the original Frozen set a pretty decent high standard in my opinion. It's just some of the songs aren't as memorable as the first one, though Into the Unknown is actually a pretty solid song. Coming in at number 18, The Dark Knight is by far my least favorite of the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. But still, I genuinely enjoyed it a lot more than quite a few films on the list. At number 17 is 007 Skyfall, which is a superb film, great in the art direction and style. I very much enjoyed it. It's probably my third favorite Bond film of all time. Coming in at 16 is a film I did not expect to like as much as I did. At 16 is Aquaman. I thought Jason Momoa killed it, honestly. Coming at 15 is The Dark Knight Rises. My second favorite of course, the trilogy. I enjoyed it genuinely a little bit more. Mainly, I'll say I liked Matt Hardy's portrayal of Bane quite a bit, even though he sounded like a robotic Sean Connery. But still, nevertheless, I really enjoyed it. Coming in at 14 is Star Wars The Force Awakens. By far, of the newer trilogy, is by far the best and strongest of the 3 films. It was definitely the best well paced, I feel. Some spots here and there on some of the editing, but still, I think overall it was very solid. Coming in at number 13 is by far, in my opinion, the best of the Disney era Star Wars films. Coming in 13 is Rogue One. Next, coming in 12, I'm not sure where other people would have this on their list of the Billion Dollar Club, but for me, number 12 is Avengers Endgame. Next at 11, we go back to Avengers again. For 11th place goes to Avengers Age of Ultron. I genuinely enjoyed Ultron a lot more than the first Avengers. I like the fact that it had a more dark tone. And to be fair, I think they did a superb job overall with the film. But with that said, next coming in at number 10 is the first of course, the Hobbit films. Coming at number 10 is The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, which by far had the most Lord of the Rings film. Coming in at number 9 is the first Frozen film, which I genuinely love. I've seen the movie like 12 times over the years. And I admit the music, some of the best I've heard from Disney in a long time. At number 8 is Jurassic Park, and that's mainly thanks to re-releases in theaters, is what put Jurassic Park in the $1 billion club. But it's by far the greatest, of course, the entire franchise, and that's where it gets. At number 7 is Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, which is by far, in my opinion, the best of the Pirates films. I know most people feel it's probably The Curse of Black Pearl, but for me, it's Dead Man's Chest. Coming in at number 6 is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2, of course. Coming in at number 5 is, of course, probably the newest and youngest of all the entries on the Billion Club list. But I ended up one of my favorite films by far of the last decade. Coming at number 5 is Joker. Next, coming at number 4, a incredible MCU movie, definitely, in my opinion, probably the best still fight scene with the airport scene. At number 4 is Captain America Civil War. Next, coming at number 3, and for me personally, is my favorite of the Avenger films. At number 3 is Avengers Infinity War. At number 2, of course, needs no introduction, the first film, which hopefully eventually we get the sequels, at number 2 is Avatar. I really, over the years, really have come, I think, to appreciate the film more than some people. Coming at number 1 by far, for me personally, is The Return of the King. Because the Lord of the Rings trilogy is my favorite movie, or movies of all time. But with that said, that is my favorite by far of the $1 billion club, is Return of the King. But leave a comment, tell me, in your opinion, what are the best of the $1 billion club. But I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.